Salutations, everybody. How are you doing on this fabulous day of Monday, the 9th of January? No, June. God damn it, crack. That's what I get for listening to other streamers earlier on who made that mistake. But hey, I'm nothing if not an infallible man. But with that being said, what's a crack-a-lack, my friends? How are you doing today? Is it all going grand? Is it all going saucy? Blockbuster, Skull, how are things with yourselves? Is the day going grand? Is the crack going 90? Do let us know how life is treating you in this mighty fine day today. I hope that everything is going well. Is there any news, G? How do you feel about some of the news that's coming out? How do you feel about the fact that Thomas Frank is supposedly making his way to Tottenham Hotspurs? How do you feel about the fact that Mbeumo is supposedly turning around and saying no to Tottenham at the same point in time as a result of what is going on? How do you feel about the fact that supposedly it's confirmed that Gyökeres is going to come to United and that it's pretty much confirmed that Garnacho is going to end up leaving to Chelsea? But with all that being said, as I'd end up saying, nothing is true until the true becomes true. So, you know, look at it with rose-tinted glasses, but always keep in mind until a here we go happens. Everything can change. United's big problem. I didn't unmute myself, did I? Oh, no, I did. Weird. Why is my audio coming through? I should have audio. What's going on here? Give me a second. Can you guys hear me okay? Am I audible? Hello? 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 Can you hear me? Am I okay? Weird. Why can't I hear me? Oh, that's why. Okay, bear with me 1 second. I could do that, do this, do that. There's always something, isn't there? Nothing can ever go the way you want it to exactly. Coola-boola. So, she's up, she's running, she's sound, and she's good. So, with that being said, Duck, how are you doing today? Is all going grand? What about reply to comments? What type of comments are you on about? Thursday is a big day for us. We have a big announcement coming. It came from United, but what is it? It's the kit. It's the kit, isn't it? That's what's happening on Thursday. I could be wrong on that, but I'm almost positive it's the kit. Yeah. It's the official reveal of the first kit on that day, Skull. So nothing extravagant. That's probably where we get the first official confirmation of Cunha. You know, he'll come out wearing the kit, and the official "here we go" will end up happening, even though all of us know that it's happened. You know, I'd say that's where that's probably going to end up lining up. But yeah, that's about the situation I believe that's going to end up happening there. I very, very, very much doubt. Do you have an image of that, Skull? I don't believe that he was training with us today because they haven't done the shirt reveal of him yet. Like, they haven't done the official announcement, and United are all for the social media shtick. I didn't see any images of him training with us today. So I'm not denying it. I'm just stating that seems weird. If so, I didn't see any images of it. I mean, it doesn't matter that he confirmed it. That's just what United like to do. United like to do that. They do that with everyone. We normally know who we're going to end up signing, who we end up having, and they'll still end up waiting. You know, that's typical United behavior, where they're just weird like that. I wouldn't be surprised if Mbeumo Gyökeres will be the reveal. I doubt it. I legitimately think, and being honest with you, I legitimately think it's just the kit. Honestly, I think it's just the kit. But time will tell. We'll see. But what makes you think I'm on the crack today, Blockbuster? Let us know. Though I've seen a supposed reveal of our third kit. It's a black kit. It doesn't actually look that bad. I liked the look of what I ended up seeing of the black kit, that it was supposedly our new one. There's some images of it that make it look horrible. There are other messages that really nice though, so we'll see what ends up happening. Okay, I'll go back and I'll have a look. So the crack might have decided to stream Football Manager to show us him getting the sack. Well, that's not happening, my friend. You might want to wish that it's happening, but that's not happening, my friend. The crack is too good to get the sack. How many games before we get you're getting sacked in the morning? Very few. Got a haircut today. Well, what type of haircut did you end up getting, Blockbuster, and why was it the R9? Skull's about to get the sack in our save. That doesn't surprise me that Skull would end up getting the sack. He seems like that type of person. Why has this stopped work? Why has Caster Labs stopped working now? Close you. Open it back up. Let's see if that works. You have a mullet, my friend. Business in the front, party in the back. I mean, yeah, but that's the thing about it. That's where you don't know. We legitimately don't know what's going to end up going on. We can just hope and see what's going to end up happening. And that's where everyone is pretty much confirmed that Mbeumo is going to end up joining us. It's just a matter of what we end up getting. I'm of the opinion that time will end up telling, and we'll see what ends up happening. It wouldn't shock me if it took a lot longer than we thought for it to end up going through. Even if it is going to go through it all itself. But yeah, we're gonna end up. Of course, this broke. Never mind. Okay. So we're going to do this. Okay. Do that and do this. Coolaboola. And we're about to see how we set this up. This shouldn't be too bad of a match now. Malaga are bottom of the table for us. So we should be able to add some nice little bits to this and see how things end up going. Salar is still complaining about the not getting enough games, even though he's wrecked, but we will end up going with them. So I think we'll take the entirety of this back lineup and continue to play it. Then because we are against the weaker side, we can change the back lining a bit. So I think we'll go with Zarkri and Laffy. I mean, I did, but I'm not 100% sure what it is, Duck. It's just 30 seconds of me starting things. So I'll have a proper look at it afterwards. I didn't get a chance to have a look at the full thing now, to be honest. But we shall see. Radcliffe has signed Mbuemo to save on a haircut. I mean, I suppose that could be an option as to why he's went and gotten them Blockbuster. To be honest, I think it's a good signing for us if we end up getting Mbuemo. I think I'm pronouncing that right, by the way. I could be pronouncing that 100% wrong, but I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, Mbuemo. But he seems to be wanting of United in the same way as Gyökeres really wants to end up coming and playing with Amorim as well. Oh, yes, that. No bother, yeah. I'll have a look at it again properly after the stream. Thanks for ending up picking that up, Duck. I might end up putting it out, but I think I'm going to roll back a bit about worrying about development of the channel and all that, because I'm stressing myself up a wee bit too much about wanting to be successful and a whole lot. So I'm just going to go back, relax, and enjoy the game. But with all that being said, we'll see what ends up happening. I mean, that is Arsenal. They're in that type of situation. Now, Malaga are an interesting team. And in La Liga, for us, it's always interesting when we end up going against the bottom of the table. Now, normally we end up doing rather well. We're the exception to the rule of this one. But they have a nasty habit of picking up the wins versus strong opponents. It hasn't happened this year yet, but I'm not 100% sure if they faced off against each other yet either. Typically, they end up taking a point off of Barca and Atletico Madrid. Now, Atletico Madrid have been taken from Barcelona, Saspetan and Zaragoza, who it's nice to see Zaragoza doing okay, because Zaragoza always take points off of Atletico, and that's awesome to end up seeing. We're going to go with this team, which is a wee bit weaker. We're going to give Medina a chance now. He's been swapped over to this position, so that should be his training point. I'm not sure why it isn't. Left-hand side, winger, support. Yes, and double the intensity. And we'll go into this and see how we end up doing. With one win all season. Damn, Skull, what type of tactic were you using in the group save that you only had one win all season? Okay, so Vinicius up front because he's whinging about game time. Bellingham just so we keep him happy. Adams because he needs to get some time in. Laffy because he needs to get some time in. Zarkri because he needs to get some time in. And we go with this particular group here, and we should be fine. We should have enough power here. We have a good enough defensive line. It's our typical defensive line, and we'll see what ends up happening. I love how Vinicius whinges about the fact that he's being used, that he's being played. Because the person he's going up against is a little bit too strong. Wonderful that would be the case too, wouldn't it? Yeah, it seems to be that type of case where there's always that type of situation. It's my second, and it's not that we played bad. My players won't score, and only 12 games played. Yeah, that does sound like the words of a United supporter, Skull. You need to improve, my friend. Need to improve. Well, how many of you are in it anyway? I have a few games left of the top of the 10th tier. In second, 6 points behind top, and I played them away soon. And how are the team at the top doing, Duck? Are they... Well, I suppose I should continue to call you Craze. But no, Duck, how are they doing? Are they an okay competition? Are they strong to go up against? How do you end up facing them? Yeah, so let's continue on for now and see how things end up going. Us in our white suit, strong, adventurous, ready to go into battle in the gold and black suit against 19th place Malaga. We should do well now. This formation is almost designed to beat their type of formation because they're more defensive to our offensive point of view. Again, a kind of mix on the 5, the kind of, 5-2-2-1 formation, kind of a mix on that, the kind of 5 at the 5 in the back play, but we'll see what ends up happening. It'll be interesting to see now whether Vinny actually starts to do some stuff in this position. Not his usual position, but just a way to get him playing more than anything else. It could be one of those games, too, where their goalkeeper just decides to have textbook expedition work and ends up stopping us at every turn. But again, how does everyone end up feeling? How is everyone's opinion on... Well, we'll see about that out of spite. Blockbuster, we'll end up winning today, I guarantee it. I mean, it would help if we could aim for the goddamn net, but we'll try our best and continue to do it. It is actually insanely annoying that we haven't hit the target yet. 5 shots, not a single shot on target. Abysmal display by us to start this particular game. Well, I wonder if that counts. Vinny with an okay corner, and thank you so much for the check-in, by the way. I will eventually end up adding into that. That will end up putting it into a YouTube or into a Discord segment to make you feel all warm and fuzzy inside, to remind you that you've come into the stream. But it's nice that it's working and everyone has their own individual counter should they want to use it. I mean, yeah, only having 2 losses there is a nice little showcase for you. Stephen Hopkinson is some name. What a goal. What a goal by Betty. Look at that goal.
Get your hand off my penis! This is the bloke who got me on the penis before.
So I've added this cute little thing on the bottom right-hand corner, known as Shell, aka Crack, aka
Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest.
It gives you a prediction to see which one his shell is underneath, and you need to try and figure it out. And there's little gaming points and a cute little addition for everyone that ends up coming into it. It's only available on Twitch at the moment, but it's a nice little addition, I think. We're doing all of our actual... I love Captain Genu. I always think that that's Nappa. Still, the fact that we had 11 shots and only ended up hitting 2 on target is a disaster showcase of our abilities. We should be doing far, far better than that. I think they might end up hitting themselves a bit too much. It's the first time using it, so there might be some teething issues with the little boy. So just bear with him if he doesn't work the right way that he's meant to, but it's a bit of crack. Yeah, well. That's officially getting annoying. So bear with us now 1 second. Come on. Do that, and then for now, do that. Okay, cool. Anyways.
Adrenaline, in my soul, something something Cody Rhodes. Up underscore the underscore Mariners played text to speech for 1,000 channel points.
How are you doing today, my friend? Up is the crack at 90. Is it all going good? How is life treating you, my friend? Adrenaline in my soul, something something Cody Rhodes. There you go. You happy out? Yeah. Well, I mentioned that during the stream yesterday when I was doing PWS, that the King of the Ring tournament is set for Night of Champions. But then I noticed that there's a bit of a problem. And something I'm interested in. I didn't think about it when I was doing the stream there, and I find it fascinating because I wonder if WWE will have forgotten about it as well. Last year, WWE introduced the Crown Jewel Championships, meant to be kept in Saudi Arabia to be defended at every Crown Jewel. Now, Crown Jewel is in Australia this year, so will they be bringing those big gaudy championships to Crown Jewel this year? Or is there a chance that there'll be a new match added to Night of Champions where the two champions face off against each other? So we might have Jey Uso versus John Cena at Night of Champions. I didn't consider that. So that could be an interesting kettle of fish if they end up doing Io Shirai or Io Sky and Tiffany Stratton and John Cena and Jey Uso. That could be an interesting situation now if they end up having that big gaudy championship again, because otherwise, will it show up in Australia? So that's interesting. Why do you think Cody Rhodes ruined wrestling now? Apparently, we're getting versus Raw and Killings for the championship in Ron's debut match. I mean, we'll see. We're not getting it tonight anyway. Tonight is Gunther versus Jey Uso. As I said, I think the way you'd end up doing it is you do Cody versus John at Night of Champions with R-Truth, Ron Killings as a special guest referee. I still think that's what they're going to end up doing. I do think he's going to end up having a main event picture at some point. That's the reason why he changed the name, to be showcased as a wee bit more serious, but I don't think it's going to happen straight away. And I also think they're probably going to take him... I also think they're probably going to make him heel. I mean, I know that he's down as Ron Killings and all of his stuff. I don't think they're going to change it to Ron Killings straight away. That's just me. But we'll see. We'll see what they end up doing. Tonight will be an interesting watch. We'll know more after tonight. I wouldn't do it straight away. I'd even come out as R-Truth for the first wee bit and then turn around and say that I'm not Ron. Or not R-Truth, I'm Ron Killings. You know, do it that way. But we'll see what ends up happening. Time will tell. It'll be an interesting showcase of what ends up happening. Because everyone started chirping and bitching and crazing, and they opened up Money in the Bank and realized that they didn't sell it out. I don't believe they signed a contract that's going to let him end up going out onto the Indies. But hey, we'll see. I don't believe that, but hey, time will tell. I doubt he'll do a single Indies performance. He might go to TNA, but that's because they're associated. But I don't think he'll do a single Indies performance. Unless he ends up doing something like Natalya, where they let him end up going out for a bit. But we'll see. They cared because they want to end up having some goodwill with the people and selling some tickets, and it was making too much noise. It was scaring them off, and they were hoping that it might end up putting a good bit of buzz in them. And they know that even though AEW are doing a lot of stupid crap, they've made some nice decisions lately, and the buzz is starting to come back on AEW. The shine is starting to appear a bit. So although they're not really competition, they do know that AEW is starting to shine again, so I think they just wanted the easy win. Now, I don't know how lucrative his contract is. I'd say he's on a lesser contract than he was before he left. Still say he's on a lot of money, but we'll see. My big problem with R-Truth is that R-Truth just does too much. He's too good at what he's at. Skull, you can believe that if you want to. I watched the entirety of that show, and for the entirety of that show, there was about 15 to 20% of the seats empty. And that might 100% be true. They might have sold out the arena, but they definitely weren't in the seats. That's 100% fair. It's just I was watching that show, and their seats were definitely empty for most of that show. Because I was watching out for it. I was watching out to see how empty it was, because I figured it'd be fairly bloody empty. What other changes do we make now? I think Oscar comes off now for Evandro, and these three are summoned up. With a 2-0 win, we're going to end up being grand, so we continue on that way. But yeah. The fans always whinge. Like, that's just the thing up. The fans always whinge when someone is released because they think the multi-billion-dollar company should never release anyone because the poor wrestlers on 100,000 quid, on over £1 million a year, most of them that are anyways good, are without work now after breaking their bodies and their bones in order to do everything to it. So, we'll see. I mean, I'm going to Clash in Paris, but they priced me out of SmackDown in Dublin. That hasn't been confirmed yet. Skull, that Night of Champions is Tiffany and Io and Cena and Jay. That's just what I'm saying because of that goddamn championship. But the championships are called the Crown Jewel Championships. So I don't know if they're going to defend them because it's not Crown Jewel, so. Yeah, but there's a reason for that too. There's a bit more of especially this one in this WWE in the Tree Arena in Dublin. You can crock up the price a massive amount for it being the first live show in Dublin, and the Irish people will end up wanting to make it so big, wanting to make it so spectacular that they end up coming back more times. So that ends up being a big point in their favor for that one. But they are extortionately high prices. Now, with that being said, I spent $270 on both Raw and Clash in Paris. So that's not actually that bad for a 2-night event, to be honest, because you'd spend it on a Taylor Swift concert or something of that occasion. So you know, it's annoying, but it's not that bad. Go on, ask your questions straight away. As I've said before, I'm always up for the questions. Ask them away. Sound is a bell. I'm always willing to listen. I'm always willing to end up hearing what you wanted to end up being. So ask it away, my friend. I'll answer it in 1 second. I'm just fixing this first. And then that's that there. Cool. Is it true Green Shark guy has free tickets because he was the one Punk punched? I don't think so. But I also wouldn't be shocked by that. I think Green's shirt guy does get priority on tickets, so he typically gets them at a discounted price, and he is a member of an association where sometimes some of the wrestlers have paid for his tickets. I do know that, but I don't think he's the one that got hit. I felt bad for Wolves. They lost in 3 of 5 English major cup finals so far on my save. Well, then they just need to get good scrubs, don't they? I mean, I don't know about that either. The rumor was for Green Shirt Guy that God damn it, I can't need to fix that. The rumor was that for Green Shirt Guy, he yeah, so that okay, no, so that's wrong. I screwed myself? Yep. Joy's trying to fix stuff, and it's just bollocking completely on you. So bear with us, technical difficulties again. Be like that. Why is it? Whatever. Anyway, sorry, the Joys is trying to fix stuff that ends up breaking on you for no apparent reason. So yes, what I ended up hearing when it came down to Green Shirt Guy is he ended up doing well during that debacle that happened with GameStop a couple of years ago, like Carmelo Hayes. Or not Carmelo Hayes, Cameron Grimes made an incredible amount of money during the GameStop situation that ended up helping him out. But yes, he's meant to be in that type of a type of collective that ends up going to matches and all that type of stuff, and has a friendly relationship with certain wrestlers and the whole lot, and it's in kind of friend groups like that. And for certain events, the wrestlers get annoyed when he's not able to get the tickets and the whole lot, so they've helped him end up doing that. Crack, how much do you think my ticket was? He has a lot of priorities and stuff. I believe if I was a betting man, your ticket was probably, considering we were saying there, $3.45. Benny, thank you so much. Can you believe it has been 6 months so far? I love that you are still subscribing, my friend. I appreciate it beyond belief. How's the crack going? How has your Monday been at work? I hope it has all been grand. It is a pleasure to have you back in here. Is there any news with you, my friend? I watched some of the Xbox showcase, but not much of it now myself, to be honest. I know that the Scott Pilgrim game was announced, and I'm interested in that. I know Game Freak ended up at Summer Games Fest. Game Freak ended up announcing that they're making a Souls-like and had everyone on fire for some stupid reason, even though it looks like a generic Souls-like. And there's a couple of interesting things. Resident Evil is nice as well. Well, I'm happy to end up having you, Benny, and I'll be there with you as well. So thank you so much for the love. I genuinely appreciate it so much. It's 13 minutes left. I'd say you're salivating at the idea to get home, Benny, are you? Salivating at that particular idea. They're releasing a Switch-like console with 1 terabyte of storage. Yes, both PlayStation and Xbox are doing that. Very, very funny that they're doing that because, you know, remarkably funny that they're doing that, because it's not like in any way, shape, or form that there is currently a handheld console out there that can play 90% of their games with better graphic control in it, with a better card in it, with better security in it, with the ability to end up modding it easier, that is supported by a company that's not going to completely end up ripping their arse, and basically all of their games are released on. So it's not like they're completely wasting their time releasing something that's 20% more expensive than the alternative option that someone could end up using. It's not like that's a thing at all. Not like that's a thing at all, you know? So, yes, that was a Steam Deck. Yes, that was a Steam Deck. To be honest, I understand wanting to get into the portable console market. It's a way to try and sell some of your games and get people back into the gaming side of things. An easy transfer of your games over, and to try and actually make the consoles relevant again and have the attachment to, which is the reason why the Switch 2 is so good, despite the fact that Nintendo are independent to themselves. It allows for that type of connectivity up to it. But it depends. It depends. Up. I prefer not any Steam game, but most Steam games. So give us a second, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you this, but give us a second, and I'll give you I'll give you a showcase of what I mean. Shut up, you. Okay, so can we do this at all? Okay, so focus, you pain in the arse. Okay, so if I go here, you'll see that it has a section up there in the corner there that says great on Steam Deck, and then all of your games over there in the corner as well. So like, I have 1,292 games. There are 491 of them that are good on Steam Deck. There is an alternative option within it that it turns around and states not 100% verified for the Steam Deck, but might be able to play. So like, there's orange options on some of these games. So you can see there the green tick is available on the Steam Deck and the whole lot. Let me check that actually. I'll answer that question for you in a second. It doesn't recommend it, but it can. Yes. It doesn't recommend it, but they can. So, like, the thing about it is you can bring up a virtual keyboard, you can bring up the virtual mouse and the whole lot, and it ends up working to it. In general, I love the system. I love it. You can set it up for mods and the whole lot as well, so you could end up playing your PS2 games on it as well, even though they don't recommend that to it. I think it's worth it. But if you enjoy sitting down and playing on a PC or something like that, it's just better, you know, having your PC. Now, the other thing with it too is it does have, if it's on the same Wi-Fi network as your desktop, you do have Stream Link. So you can play the games on your desktop on the Switch and not download them onto the Switch via Cloud Play. So it's handy that way as well. What actually are they? Give me a second. Yes, I have the first version of it. I don't have the newest version of it. The newest version of it is the OLED screen, which is a good bit nicer and runs a slightly bit more crisp. So you have the original version for 419, the new version for 569, and then the 1 terabyte version for 679. With that being said, they do go on sale every now and again during some of the Steam sales, so I wouldn't recommend buying them now. But you know, it's something. About like it's cheaper than what PlayStation and Xbox's version is going to end up being. So I missed a couple of chats there, so let me end up checking. Would I recommend one? Yes, I would, but do you need to end up thinking about it yourself? You haven't answered my question, how much was my ringside ticket? Ringside ticket I think when I checked it, the ringside ticket was something like 950 to 1,300. Considering I know you know some people, I'll say you spent 800 quid on it. Skull. Price of the Switch 2 and some of its games are mental. Well, the Switch 2 is being priced up due to the tariffs. The games were always going to be increased to this price, and unfortunately it leaves the woodworks open for every other game to end up doing it. The sad truth about it is Mario Kart is a fantastic game. It is. For anyone to turn around and say it isn't is just lying barefaced to you. It is a fantastic game. Is it worth 85 quid? Is it worth 80 to 90 quid? That is up to you, for you to decide, but it is a good game. And the fact that the old games are being updated in some cases automatically. It sounds like the Pokemon games have been updated automatically, so that's good. There are some games where you need to spend 10 quid to upgrade them, which is horse manure. But unfortunately, Nintendo fans are rabid, and they will set the precedent. And we already know that Gearbox were going to end up letting this happen anyway, and that an awful lot of the figureheads of gaming that have been long in gaming turn around and want the games to go back up to 120 quid at some point. Hence the reason why don't be shocked if GTA 5 comes out at 100 quid normal and 180 quid for its deluxe pack. So we'll see. Okay, my next console will be one. I do recommend them, Duck, to be honest, but it is interesting. I was looking on the store page to see if a game I would have played is compatible with the Steam Deck. Thankfully, it is. I played Code Vein and The Witcher 3 and tons of other games on it. It's very good. It's clunky. It feels strong. It has a good reaction time to it. It has the explosive trigger pads, so you know, fantastic setup. I do recommend it. To be honest, but it is an awful lot of money. Yeah, I figured it'd be close to that. Pixel, my friend, how are you doing? It's the Kraken 90. Salutation to you, Chia Gwitch. How is your Monday treating you? Any news with you? Is the Kraken 90? Let us know if you want to. Addict is the name of the little bunny down on the bottom there, by the way. I mean, we've only been on 45 minutes and I've managed to get through a single solitary game, so I'm going fast for my typical display of FM play. But with all that being said, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the crack, talking with everyone and having the vibes come down. Having a celebrity such as yourself come into the chat now and spread their awesomeness to everyone is a joy to behold and a pleasure to end up having the top fornicator of crack in the crack addicts army. How's life treating yourself? How's your streaming work been going for you the last wee while, my friend? Has it all been going good? Have you been enjoying yourself? Have you been playing anything wild or exciting in your own free time? Has everything been going good? And the same to anyone else that's lurking or anything like that. Feel free to lurk in the background. There's no obligation into talking. We're lurker friendly and the whole lot. But should you want to talk and have the fun of the crack and listen to my diarrhea of the mouth and constipation of the brain and have it flavoured in your mentality, do state it. Why not? Crack, the biggest problem is that the league will start that weekend. I mean, just watch it. Just watch it beforehand. You won't be watching a match at 8 in the evening, so, you know, you'll be grand. You're not going to the league games. At least I don't think. Been doing a new FM save with fictional teams in a USA, starting in the 4th division. Been having a lot of fun. How does that end up working, considering the USA doesn't have relegation? Is it one of the other USA leagues, or a league that's just based in the USA that's a wee bit different? Or how does that end up working for you, my friend? And furthermore, let us know what is the name of the league that you have managed to select. I have to go to the league games. It's my job. Fair enough. Doku is a pleasure to watch. I mean, Doku is a fantastic player. Was he worth the 70 million that... God damn it, why is that gone? Okay, I think... Yes, that's working now. Happy out. Kula bula. Back up again. Sorry for anyone that was on TikTok that was watching. It was gone there. Doku's a fantastic player. Was he worth the 70 million Man City spent on him? Also, Man City got their bid. They have Ryan Cherki signed now as well, so that's going to be interesting. I wonder if that means they're still going to be able to get the midfielder from AC Milan they were after. That'll be interesting. Northeast 4B. What's the 4B mean in the northeast bit of it? Is it just that the fourth version of what you were doing? 4-3 to Bellingham, Lukaku. Lukaku's still an amazing player. So, like, literally, Action Tanaman and WWE Series is verified on Steam Deck. Happy out! Yeah, the WWE Series runs a bit... Maybe they've gotten it a bit better, but the WWE Series always ran a bit odd on the Steam Deck when I tried it, Benny. So just, you know, be careful about it. Like, the regular EA games, you know, FIFA and EAFC is temperamental on it, mainly because you need to prop up you need to pop up the external browser to start the game, but Origin will end up opening up and you need to download a little thing for Origin and then they'll play fine. Yeah, the 2K series, the one I had the most problem with was 2K23, but they've all been fixed a bit to end up being better on it. There's 4A and 4B, 2 conferences, not too bad. I think the F1 series is on it. I do know there are other driving games that are definitely on it that are in correlation with it. I've never played any of the F1 games, so I can't give too much of an opinion on them unfortunately. You wouldn't know them, they're not great. Fair enough. I heard FM is fine. It's just, the thing with FM is, it's the same thing as playing on console. You can use the screen itself to touch and drag and use it as a mouse, but it's awkward. It's just a tiny bit awkward on it, but it works. The only way I'm getting 2K25 is if it appears in a Humble Bundle. Literally the only warning is the text might be a bit too small to read. Yeah. But again, the thing is you can zoom in. You can you can download an attachment that allows you to zoom in as well. Again, not recommended by Steam to do it, but you can do that as well. We need to put in our strongest team for this game too. This is one of the most important games of the season. Barcelona are our main competition. They are still galloping away, trying to end up winning, so we need to be careful. Yeah, well, that's the thing is, as I said, I won't be purchasing 2K25. I will only play 2K25 if I get it on a Humble Bundle. And then if I get it on the Humble Bundle, I will spend the money on the DLC once it's discounted. To be fair. But that's the only way I'm going to end up playing it, you know? Other than that, I'm not playing it. I agree with you. It's the reason I didn't buy it, because I wanted to buy it when it came out, because I wanted to do content with it. And I hope they fix it for 26, because I'd love to do some WWE content with 2K26, because I am, as is blatantly obvious by anyone that has been in the chats, I am a giga WWE fan, much to my chagrin sometimes. I mean, that's my point. I do it for 26. I'm not buying FM20. I'm not buying FM25. Out of principle, I'm not giving them the money, but we'll see what ends up happening. 4 minutes to see if the ball was out or in. I know, shocking up. You'd never think it, would you? Now, I will be back in one very quick second. I'll keep the music playing there, and I'll be right back, and we'll start the Barcelona game, and we'll watch this game, because this is the most important game of the season so far. So just bear with me. So, we're back there. Not too bad. So it's back to 3-3. Is this just a regular friendly game, or is this something else entirely? Because I'm actually not sure what's on today. World Cup qualifiers. Yes, okay. Yeah, I don't think Ireland are even in them.
What do you think? Oh, look alright. You look great. Will you marry me? You're too crazy for me.
Who would be the favourites to win the World Cup now at the moment? I know some people are putting down the answer to that question as Portugal, which I find interesting. And to be honest, that team, and there's an argument to be made of it, if that team made Ronaldo rotational as opposed to being starting, it probably does win it. But it'll be interesting to see what ends up happening with it. Is there any chance that it's Argentina again? Ooh, Belgium. De Bruyne. Do you think so, Duck? Why do you say that that's utter horse manure now? What makes you say that? Argentina will always contend with a manager like Scaloni. I know. And I wonder if Ancelotti's appointment to Brazil will give them a bit more lick in their step than normal as well. And of course, there's always the others that you need to take into consideration as well, like how will Germany end up doing in it? I don't think the German team is as strong as some people think the German team is. But at the same point in time, with a manager like Nagelsmann, you have to think maybe there's a chance Germany will end up doing well in it. Time will end up telling. This is going to be an interesting couple of pokes going around in it now, to be honest, anyway. Bielsa's Uruguay is struggling right now. It's astonishing. Like, aren't Uruguay, technically speaking, the most successful international team? Because they have won the World Cup more than anyone else, haven't they? Now, obviously, back years and years and years and years ago, almost 100 years ago since that happened, but they're technically the most successful international team, right? Or am I just completely wrong on that? But they're phenomenal, like in terms of their reputation, they're phenomenally well established in in international football. It's just been years since they've done anything. USA are going to win with Poch. I don't know, Duck. That's a interesting poke to end up saying. I was listening to Benny end up getting on about it. I don't know. When I look at that USA team, leadership is one of their problems, and then just... We'll see. We'll see. I think the USA team is another 5 years off of being a competent team. But we'll see. Brazil has more, I think. But Uruguay is up there. Again, I don't know. And I don't actually care at the end of the day either. Like, international football means diddly squat to me. But, you know, we'll see what ends up happening. Also, I should not be an attacking mentality for this. Unless we really need to, we should be in cautious mentality for this. Because Barcelona are far too strong of a team and will bite us in the arse if we're not careful. Ooh, like that. Holy moly. England has won as many as Spain. Wait, England have only won one, haven't they? I use a Razer Pro Edge 2 as the microphone of my particular choice at the moment, my friend. You don't need to be as fancy as this, and it's also not particularly great, to be honest. But it does the job for me, and I am grand with it now, to be honest. Let's look at this goal now, because this looked like it was a good goal. Warren, Zane, Emery straight down, walk through, a brilliant touch. Bart Vendebergen should have done phenomenally better than that. Yes, it's a USB connected microphone. You can connect it up that way. So there'll be no problem using it for the Xbox. Well, no, because it depends on how your Xbox ends up doing it. Because like if your Xbox controller has a usual port like that, then no, you'd need to end up getting something else. It depends on how you're connecting it to the Xbox. But I think it can be, yeah. I mean, I like the microphone anyway. I think it's good. Bellingham should have done a lot better on that touch. We're performing very good here, but we're still sloppy in some of the plays that we're doing there. But that's the type of stuff that Rashford should have been doing for United, running back and actually defending. That's an interesting kettle of fish, too, that seems to have died down. Barcelona's interest in Marcus Rashford. Supposedly one of the rumors that's going around at the moment is that if Barcelona wanted to cut the price by about half, so Barcelona were only willing to offer something like 20 million quid for Rashford. But United are willing to put him out on loan if needs be and go that way. I want to stream or do a podcast or something, but I don't know. I mean, it's up to yourself, my man. But I will point out something that someone pointed out to me earlier on. If you're doing streaming for fun, then it doesn't matter what quality it is. Just go and go live, improve everything as things end up coming through. Eventually, people will end up coming with you, and if you're good enough at the content, they'll end up staying, and just hope that you're good enough that way. But if you want to be successful, you almost need to sacrifice the rest of your life in order to actually end up doing anything with it. But hey, give it a go if you want to. Saw me lose those Champions League final. Hey, the crack can always end up happening there. And hey, if you wanted to test it for a bit, post in that you wanted to do a test stream on the Discord, and do it in the Discord voice channels and stream a bit there and see if you're able to get your audio and all that up and do that as a bit of a test. Obviously, you won't be doing channel alerts and stuff like that. You won't have the likes of that set up there. But you could do that if you wanted to, and we could try and give you a wee bit of an opinion to see how it ends up going. So it's up to you to end up doing it, but it depends on what you want to end up doing with streaming. I think The big problem with it is it's a hunger and an addiction that is 100% negative to you, because you'll always want to do it if you actually like it. And it means, for the likes of me, who's somewhat unsocial, it means that you don't really want to go out anymore and you prefer to come here. And if you're okay with that, that's fine. But as someone pointed out there, pretty much everyone who's big at the moment that's male is single. So, you know, there's that. Anyway, we'll pause this while the ads are going on, and we'll see how the match ends up happening and see how that ends up going. All down to the lucky break making it big on here. I mean, yeah. Look, at the end of the day, Duck, I'm here, trying to improve, trying to enjoy it. I'm giving the time to it. I do think you need to be able to reserve yourself back a bit. I don't even know if you're able to hear me, by the way. But I do think you need to end up reserving yourself back a bit. I think if you're worried, a wee bit too worried about growth, you'll end up stressing yourself out too much about it, though. One of the things I've been doing recently, too, in order to improve myself, and I'm not going to show the brand because screw it, I'll just show the top, and if you know, you know. I've been taking electrolytes recently, and they're grand, they're brilliant, they end up giving you a wee bit of an energy boost in the whole lot. The electrolytes, especially when you end up putting them into a drink and just drinking them away. But I will say, you need to be extremely careful about washing whatever glass you end up using with them, because they leave a taste in anything that ends up coming if you aren't careful about it. But yeah, no, that's my opinion on it anyway. Just don't be going into it with the idea that success is the end-all be-all of it. Just enjoy yourself. At least I think. Maybe that's a couple of lower numbers on me trying to be experimental, making me feel horrible, but yeah. What do you mean, oh my god, Katie? What do you mean, oh my god? I'll have you know, I'm doing fabulous here. This isn't a moment. This is a, you know, stupid, sexy crack moment. And in your particular case, what you can do, Skull, and you asked for this, what you can do, Skull, is you can... Drum roll, please. You can...
Off is a direction you can fuck.
Shut up, Doc. Oh, shut up, Benny. Shut up, Benny. We all know that this is stupid, sexy crack moments. Also, I love Fairly Odd Parents. SpongeBob and Fairly Odd Parents have some of the most meme potential you can end up having. I'll get you back when they whip your ass into next year. What's your opinion on the fact that Skull is going to get crushed when we play each other? Let him have fun. Let him have fun, and let's see how you end up doing. That's all you can end up having. And I will laugh maliciously in the background. You do know, Benny. There is a channel point that allows you for a measly 1,000 channel points. Or ideally, you can use the blurb selection in the panel down below that allows you to end up doing this option in of itself. You know, you can end up playing the channel points and just pressing it yourself. Or I can always just end up doing, you know, a nice little indication of...
Off is a direction you can fuck.
Thank you, Duck, by the way. That was so nice of you to end up feeding crack. Which one? The addict being leveled up, or me telling people to go away? Wow. Isn't that nice of you? I mean, Dwayne is always an excitable moment, isn't he? Dwayne the Rock Johnson. The Johnsons of Johnsons. I guess your reaction up to being scared was this.
What happened?
I need to add more blurps into this panel. That's quite handy. The sad thing about that show is that's actually a really good show. That Mickey Mouse show that they ended up doing in 2016. It ended up going for, I think, 4 or 5 seasons. But they tried to make that meme-worthy. They tried to make that meme-worthy. Now, in certain cases, like with the What Happened, they worked. But they attempted in every way they can to make that meme-worthy. And sometimes that doesn't work, you know? I mean, I can change it to What Happened, yeah. I might do that afterwards, actually, Benny. That's actually not a bad idea. So I will put that down and add it to the notepad as changeable moments later on. As I take everything into consideration and then ignore it for months until it's fixed. Like the fact that the Discord check-in is now currently working, would you believe? Incremental for each individual. AK, my friend, long time no chat. What's a crack-a-lackin' with you? How is your Monday treating you? Is it all going grand? Is it all going good? Salutations in Giagwich. Konasatatu.
What lovely balls.
Oh, Jude with a second goal. We're doing brilliant. Faustin Mastantino being a genius of a man, passing it down there. Eduardo Camavinga doing excellent play there. Faustin there, and Jude Bellingham at 30 being the captain, just playing brilliantly. Well, I hope that being here improves it a bit for you, AK. I'm sorry to hear that's a bit shit. If you want to talk about it, I'm happy to listen. I'm always happy to listen. The crack is all ears. We can bring out the doctor, although the doctor doesn't have his scarf. But if you need to, Dr. Crack can indeed listen, my friend. It's Adam. What's a crack-a-lackin'? How is life treating you? It has been a bit, my friend. Is all going good with you? Is all going grand? How is life treating you nowadays? How is your Monday going? Have you gotten up to much? Giagwich and Konasatatu, my friend. Crack, should I take Block down a peg or two and whip him into next year? Nah! If you win in your game, that's enough for it. Otherwise, just have the crack amongst yourselves. I might end up putting in one of those boxing mini games that Twitch ends up having every now and again as well. Hey, look at it this way, AK. It's done and dusted. You've done the best you can end up doing with it. You tried as hard as you could, and it's done now, so there's no need to worry about it. So hopefully it ends up going well from now. And as you said before, you pretty much have your placement organized afterwards anyway. You just need to get enough to end up doing it, so a pass could be all you need for it. Not too bad, buddy. No complaints from me, pal. Quiet Monday, so that's always works for me. Hope all is well with you. Brilliant, actually, to be honest, Adam. All the better for you being here. All the better for you being here. Not a word of a lie from me. You know, it's incredible to end up having you here. Have you been doing much yourself nowadays? How have your streams been going, my friend? Or have you been streaming at all in the last wee while? Because I haven't had a chance to end up going in and seeing any of them if they were, unfortunately. But it's a pleasure to end up having you here. And thank you so much for stopping by. Physics paper 1 was fine, but I'm always crap at paper 2. Hey, but you knew that. So you did it. You gave it your best whirl, and that's all you can end up doing, my friend. Like the Leaving Cert's going on here in Ireland at the moment, and there's some people that ended up doing English paper 2, and the poet didn't show up for them. So, you know, you can only roll with the punches that come in front of you and hope that they end up going well and have the desire and the ability to continue to go on forth and forward, and that's all you're going to end up doing. Like us walloping the ass of Barcelona! Oh my god, are we going to get the third goal? I do always find it weird how when it comes down to throw-ins that my winger from the opposite side comes up to the other side and ends up doing that. Feels weird, people no longer calling me Traction, to be fair. Streams haven't been too bad, pal. Not been on for about a week due to other half not being well, so fingers crossed I'll be back later this week. I'll be in crisis with 2017 Bolton. Well, that's what you get for choosing 2017 Bolton. What was the top process of that? And what was the top process of changing to It's Adam as opposed to Traction? What ended up making you end up going down that route, my friend? Memorization is always a weird way to end up doing any type of stuff like that, but you know, when it comes down to the exams, like I don't like memorization type exams anymore because you'll always have a computer in your pocket nowadays. So it's about getting information fast as opposed to maintaining information. But the other thing about it is, when it comes down to all these type of exams, is at the most it costs you 1 year. Well, and a wee bit of money. Like I done the Leaving Cert twice here in Ireland because I wanted to do architecture. Missed it by 5 points. Ended up doing the Leaving Cert, doing a fantastic job. Got an extra 75 points. I went for my architecture course. I got an interview where there's no such thing as a perfect interview, so they gave me 95 points in the interview. But I done the suitability test, I got 100 in that, so I got an extra 195 points. Now, I had missed it the year before by 5 points, getting 100 in the suitability test, and 95 in the interview, because back then there was no such thing as a perfect interview either. And when I ended up doing that, when it ended up coming down to the points time to get my course, it went up by 75 points. So you can't let the negatives end up bringing you down. You continue on, and you end up seeing, and you know that what's for you is for you, and you continue on that way. Oh my god, I'm just after reading that statement there, Traction. You work in mortgages. No wonder the world is so fucked. No wonder the world is in the midst of a recession. You fail your GCSEs and work in mortgages. You're the reason I can't own a house. Bolton was the winner in a poll. I just fancied to change after 3 years. I wanted Adam FM, but it turns out the @ is used by a Turkish guy who's not been active for years. I mean, you could contact him and try and pay it for it, but hey, it's not a bad old name either, to be honest, because you'll need to end up doing a little jingle. He does it well, he does it grand. Everyone shout for It's Adam. That was horrible. I'm not good at stings. I'm no Charlie Harper. Oh, by the way, Swindon save update. Won the Europa League in my first half season at Dortmund, and then got potentially one of the best summer signings of all time. Not too bad, happy out, but you do need to explain to us who the signing was, AK. You need to let us know who exactly it was that you ended up signing. What did Caesar say when stabbed in the back by Brutus? Sometimes maybe good, I need to add that as a blurb. That is amazing. Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. You didn't by any chance get a job around 2007, 2008. That's a deep cut reference there, AK. In 2010, got my first job on a massive $3 an hour at Sports Direct. Sports Direct, crikey. Joys of that. Not a fun old spot to work, I'm sure. Like, it's nice to end up having the free, or not the free, the discounted prices and the whole lot, but they work you like a slave driver. But most places work you like a slave driver anymore. From Yokohama for 7 million. It's the November of the save now, and he's worth 100 million, and he's been absolutely smashing. But that's what you want to end up happening, isn't it? Finding a player that ends up working fantastically well for you. Faustin Mastantino was that for me. Like, I'll give you a quick showcase of him, actually. Faustin Mastantino here. We ended up signing him a couple of years ago from Krull. We signed him for 4 million quid. He's worth 97 million quid now. He has been revolutionary for us. I love the player so much. It's one of the things that's going to make leaving Real Madrid really, really hard when you end up losing the likes of the players at the end of the sign like that to do a fantastic job. But you go with what you have and you continue on anyway. It's a pleasure to end up seeing that it ends up going well. I will say, in terms of IRL, it is slightly sad that there isn't more Asian representation doing well. Like, other than Song at the moment, and God, we have him here, who's signed for PSG. We had him here, Song Kong, or whatever his name was. What was his name? Give us a second. We have him out on loan. 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 I think. Or did we sell him? I think he's out on loan. Ability. Other way around. No, we must have sold him. So transfers, transfer history. Yeah, Kang In Lee, who's currently at PSG. Other than him, I can't think of anyone really big from over that side of the world at the moment, IRL, that's doing particularly big. So hopefully in IRL terms, that ends up improving soon as well, to be honest. Although he's in Saudi Arabia earning 1 million quid a week, so happy out to him. He's done the right moves. Only thing is, his work rate isn't high enough. Ideally, I would want him to be pressing more, but his scoring, and I don't mind. I mean, that's the best way to end up having it. If he's scoring at all, that's all that matters. Oh, okay. Barcelona have been quite mean in this game. They've been aggressive. They have more cards than we do. Although, what the hell happened there by Warren Emery? How did that go out? I don't know him. Who's he play for, AK? I mean, I'm still not 100% sure who you mean. Wolves? I haven't heard. To be honest, I haven't passed any heed of him. So he's in the Premier League, so that's something. But I haven't passed any heed of him. It was funny too. I was listening to Talk Shiznik today, and Sam Matterface was on for Jim White. And I actually like Sam Matterface because, unlike Jim White, he actually gives his own personal opinion and isn't just a paper sheet for the goddamn station. But he was having an argument with Martin Keown. And they were on about the fact that Spurs are supposedly signing Thomas Frank as their brand new manager. And Sam made a pretty goddamn interesting point. He turned around and he said that the reason why Levy, and this was what Levy said, by the way, the reason why Levy sacked Ange Postecoglou is because he wanted someone to come in, change the culture, have a winning mentality, and move them forward towards greatness. And what Matterface turned around and said is that Thomas Frank has built a good culture in Brentford, but he doesn't achieve the objective that Daniel Levy stated that he wants because he hasn't won anything. And I think that's 100% accurate. I like Thomas Frank, but if Daniel Levy was looking for exactly what Daniel Levy said he was looking for the reason that he sacked Poch, I think that's horseshit. Because Thomas Frank doesn't achieve what Daniel Levy said he was looking for. Even though I think Thomas Frank will probably succeed at Tottenham, it is a crock of horse manure. But yeah, but you were saying, or might have been someone else, but I think it was you, that Michael Carrick was teetering around the edges of getting sacked anyway. That wasn't really a surprise. You thought that was going to happen sooner rather than later. But Brentford's whole football operational is the reason why Frank is good. That could be the case. It could be a Graham Potter situation. It could be a Graham Potter situation where the football organisation is so good that it ends up working. And there's quite a high possibility that that's what's going to end up happening. Yeah, I wonder who's going to replace him now. Or what? God damn it, I done the wrong move. They're angry with me now. And rightfully so, to be honest. Yeah. Spurs don't have a whole setup for him to thrive at the moment anyways. Well, that's the weird thing about it, because they kind of do. Because Spurs have everything paid off for. Their stadium is going to be paid off for 100% in the next 5 years. They have the guts of 150 million quid to spend. They have the best training facility in the entirety of the country. They kind of do. It's just a matter if they're willing to back him. And they did back Ange, and I think Ange was a victim of his own stubbornness. It didn't help that he had so many bad injuries with Ange. I think Ange would still be here if they didn't get injured as much as they did. And I think it was a bad sacking, to be honest. God damn it. At least Danny Rowe isn't a bad option. But Steven Gerrard, why are they still getting major showcases? Like, go for someone like Robbie Keane, who's doing well abroad, or Damien Duff, who's doing okay at Shelbourne. Like, why pick someone like Gerrard, who's just consistently failing? But do they... by the way, Ben, I completely missed you there. Yo, man, what's a crack-a-lackin' with you, Gia Gwitch, my friend? How is your Monday treating you? You've come into the middle of a save here. Half-time 2-0 up against the mighty Barcelona. We are dominating them with 9 shots and 3 on target. They're 3 shots, 1 on target. We are doing a phenomenal display at controlling them down. Good XG, bad in possession, but who cares about possession so long as you win? We continue on. They didn't have the same. That's just not fair to turn around and say they had as many injuries as Arsenal. Like us, at one point in time, Tottenham had the entirety of their back line out. Difference being with us, it included their goddamn goalkeeper. You know, like, let's be fair to Tottenham. Out of all of the teams in the Premier League last season, Tottenham had the worst injury crisis. Followed by probably us, funnily enough. But Jesus, could you imagine if they gave it to Rooney? Oh. I'd actually laugh if they gave it to Wayne Rooney. I'd laugh if they gave it to Wayne Rooney. I've seen a video going mental as... Oh, but yeah. Damien Duff has gone bonkers. Like, Damien Duff holds nothing back. He's ruthless at those players. Well, like, the thing is, it statistically just would have been true. It would have been impossible for it not to have been as good, better, because they would have done better in everything they ended up going with the money they ended up having. Like, Ange has been a man that has proven his word. He won something in his second season. He proved his word. So, like, there's simply no reason to sack him. That's the problem. But hey, done, dusted now. What can you do? It'll be interesting to see where he lines up. Inter haven't gotten a brand new manager yet, have they? Or have they? Have Inter signed a new manager? Because I joke about it, but I don't really. If I was Inter, I'd consider him. Para manager after Zingari's loss. I mean, new manager revealed. Who is it? Inter have officially announced on Monday, June 9th. Okay, never mind. They have their new coach. I have no idea who Christian Schaaf is. I have no idea who the hell that is. But fair play to him. Give him a go. But someone has to poke at Ange. Like, they can't be foolish enough not to. Like, if would you do it? By the way, would you do it if Thomas Frank went to if Thomas I mean this with all the respect in the world, Skull. I mean this with all the respect in the world. Van de Ven was more important to Tottenham than either of those two players were for Saka or for Arsenal. And Odegaard was playing crap before he got injured. Odegaard was literally a dead wheel before he got injured. And it wasn't Saka's best season either. They're two brilliant players for Arsenal, I won't deny it, but they do not have the levity of focus that Van de Ven had for Tottenham. Not even near it. But could you imagine if Thomas Frank goes to Tottenham and Ange Postecoglou goes to Brentford? Could that be a shout? Would he accept it? Is the other thing about it, because it is a downgrade in the whole lot. But it'd be interesting to see what could end up happening. He got injured in September, and when Saka came back, I mean, yeah, he looked like he's grand, but like, we'll see. I doubt Brentford would be daft enough to do that now. I've doubted. Michael Carrick it looks like he could be a manager of some quality later in time, but he hasn't proven himself at all to be Premier League ready. I don't know. I don't believe that either. I mean, with Crystal Palace, it'll be interesting to end up seeing, but they were spouting that horse manure with us when Jim Ratcliffe had Nice. And the fact that we played in the Europa League last year sets a precedent in play that they could end up using United as an example of where that can't end up happening. Now, with the same point in time, the fact of the matter is that the Palace owners have a majority stake in the other in the other company, whilst having a majority stake in Palace. Difference being that Jim Ratcliffe had a minority stake in United versus having the majority stake in Nice. I still think Palace will end up getting into it. Why wouldn't they? They immediately get an extra 50 million quid if they're in the Europa League. Like, it's daft for them not to want it. Daft. They get TV money and the whole lot. They get more game times. They get more publicity put in. It's daft to even recollect that that's a possibility. That would be a crap ton of horse manure. That would be them just spreading information to calm the tits of the fans, in my opinion, because that's the daftest thing I've ever heard in my life. Well, the Leon owner also won't have a club after this season with the way they're going, considering they have to sell almost 100, I think it's 130 million quid's worth of players in order to keep the club afloat, which is the reason why I'm shocked that Ryan Cherky actually went for 35 million. Are in breach an hour ago. Again, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. Skull, I haven't been on X to see it, but I'll say the same thing as I said about their Garnacho thing you posted to me on the TikTok and the Gokares deal. Until I end up seeing it 100%, I won't bloody say anything. So I'll do a wee bit of investigation after this, and we'll end up seeing. Saudi is approaching everyone, so don't be shocked about that. Sesko is more than likely going to Arsenal. That deal is far more advanced than people are letting on that it is, but we'll see what ends up happening. It's the fact that the Osman deal has died is the reason why Al Hilal are so desperate for anything. Like, don't be shocked if Al Hilal come in for Rasmus Højlund at this point. Jude Bellingham has a goddamn hat-trick. You wouldn't be shocked if they came in for Rasmus at this point in time with how desperate they are for a striker. Fair enough. As I said, I haven't had a chance to go and look at it, so I can't confirm nor deny anything, Skull. So we'll wait and we'll see. You know, you joke about that, but I do actually need to make some substitutes, and one of them is ironically the person that's after scoring the hat-trick. So you do joke about that, but that might actually be a possibility. Wait, I mean this with all the respect in the world, Skull. Your it's 100% confirmed has often not been a 100% confirm. So that's the difference. He's not gone yet. He's probably going to be gone, but he's not gone yet. Like, until the here we go happens, he's not gone. Same way as with Harry Maguire. He's more than likely going to be gone, but he's not gone yet, and we don't know where. Like, we'll see what ends up happening. Napoli are going to end up coming in, and we'll see what ends up happening. He's probably going to be going to Napoli, but he hasn't gone yet. We don't know who he's going to. Well, that video of Garnacho wasn't the actual video of Garnacho. No, you told me Cunha was signed, and he wasn't signed when you said he was signed. I told you Cunha was going to be signed. I told you Mbuemo was going to be signed. It's just, they're not signed yet. Like, you turned around and said that Florian Wirtz has signed for Liverpool. He hasn't signed yet. You know? So we'll see. I'm not getting in an argument about you. It's just until I end up seeing the here we go, I'm not, for signings, I'm not accepting it for anything, and I need to have a look and see myself. So, you know, I'll have a look and I'll see about that. It wouldn't shock me that if you're right. I'm just saying I haven't looked. I haven't seen it yet. Sky Sports. So let's look at the Sky Sports website really quickly. Tottenham open talks for Brentford. Manchester United approach Sporting Gyökeres. De Bruyne denies Wales comeback. Forest voice concerns over Palace's Europa League spot. Manchester City complete Atnoore deal. There's nothing confirmed on Sky at the moment. Not on the website, anyway. It just says that Nottingham Forest are concerned about it, but nothing confirmed that it's been done. So, on the website itself, it doesn't confirm that Palace aren't that UEFA have said it. On the website, anyway. But again, I'll do more research later on. It just hasn't been confirmed yet. It's just Forest have written to UEFA to voice their concerns about Palace's scheduled involvement in the Europa League next season. The Eagles could be in breach of multiple club ownership. Even Marinakis, who's an ass anyway, forced to step aside from the day-to-day running of the club when Forest might be in Champions League football, the conflict of the Olympiacos. So he's just turning around stating that it wouldn't be fair that they've done to him what ends up happening there. So it hasn't been confirmed yet, you know? So we'll see. We'll see. But that's my point, like... It's just, I'll wait and I'll end up seeing him. Once it's confirmed, I'll end up going through. But I'll do that with everything. That's not just you, Skull. I'll do that with everyone. I'm not going to accept anything as anything on the internet anymore until it's confirmed. Until I'm able to confirm it by multiple sources. Because even Fabrizio Romano isn't infallible. He'll make mistakes. So I want multiple sources on anything before I accept it. It's too dangerous not to end up taking it from multiple sources anymore with how easy it is to end up cheating stuff. So that's just my opinion on it, and I understand completely if you think that's annoying. I don't think so. Let me check. No, Brighton didn't. However, if Palace are removed from the Europa League, Brighton will get it. So that's the thing. If Palace are removed from it, Brighton will get it. But Leon are possibly on being banned next year. Yeah, well, that's why they need to make all of the sales. That's why Ryan Cherky is gone. That's why they need to make a crap ton of sales. Leon need to generate something like 150 million quid. Don't be surprised if they do something stupid like sell their women's team to make money or something like that Chelsea did. Because they just need to make a load of money. So we'll see. If Palace get disqualified, they should move Forest to Europa and give Brighton their Conference League place. That's what's happening, Duck. If they get disqualified, that's what's happening. As a semi-final of the FA Cup, Forest were the lowest ranked team in between them and Villa. I mean, to my knowledge, what's happening is Forest will remain in the Conference League playoffs and Brighton will just join them, I think. Or Brighton will end up... Yeah, Forest will take the Europa League and Brighton will take the Conference League, I think. Oh, and we're after getting our 4th goal, so screw you who thought that this was going to end up with a 4-3 loss to me. We've dominated Barcelona in this game. We've done phenomenally well in this game. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't care. I don't like the multiple ownership shtick anyway. I know the idea of it is that if the owner ends up meeting up, they'll tell the bigger of the two clubs to just bloody lie down and let the other team win. But at the end of the day, if it's blatantly obvious that the team did that, if it's blatantly obvious that the team laid down and let the other team win, both teams should be banned for 5 years from playing in any European competition, and that's how you solve that shit. It's not easy to what's the word I'm looking for? It's not easy to fix a game. It's not easy to do that. It's not easy to make it look like you're not fixing a game when two teams are trying to end up making someone lose like that. So that would be my point on it. That I think God, I lost my train of thought. Just after getting a message there, and I just completely lost my train of thought. Anyway, blah blah blah. You know what it was on about. Why do you want Palace gone? Do you want Brighton to just get a position? Is it? Yeah, so you're just a bigger fan of Brighton. Fair enough. Nothing wrong with that. As I said, I just don't care. I just don't care. I just like that the person that won the bloody cup ends up getting what they ended up getting for winning the cup. Either way, I'm just happy that City ended up losing. What about Jordan Rhodes? Is that players that are there or people that were in it? I'm not 100% sure what you're on about there, Duck. Unfortunately. You've lost me a tad. Okay. Ugh. Okay. Gay again. Losing the ball. I know it's not your normal position, Gay, but this is not good play by you. Former Brighton players from their League One days. Oh, unfortunately that's where my football ends up coming into contention. Other than United, I'm really bad with football, and even with United, I'm bad at all players. Yes. Oh no, 100%. It is 100% noob situation. It's why when they ended up adding a load of the older players to the streamer save that we were doing when entering them, I needed a wee bit of assistance because I legitimately didn't know. Craic, get your words. I legitimately didn't know the players and needed a wee bit of assistance trying to find out who they were. Because I am nothing if not tit. Well, what was it that made you lose your interest in it? Funnily enough, Duck. I'd love to know what about my TikTok ends up making people run like a bloody rabid hare. Because I get a couple of people in. About 118 people come into the TikTok stream today. They're in for about a second and then they run away. Nobody ever sends a message, and I'd love to know what I can do to improve that. It's just intriguing. But again, I'm happy talking with ye, so it doesn't really matter. And I have the diarrhea of the mouth and the constipation of the brain. So, you know, it's joyous to end up going through it. Van de Berg has had a bad game today, by the way. He's just made a couple of really odd decisions that have led to us end up squeezing Barca a wee bit too much. Now, this is an anomaly of a game for us to be this controlling of them, to be this dominant of them. Hopefully we can continue this up, and the next time we face off against them as well, we are equally as dominant, because we'll be facing them a couple of times this season. I'm sure we'll meet in Europe and in a couple of other areas as well. Sajid Gay. Gay has not had a good game today. Well, Gale, sorry, Gale. G-A-L, G-A-E-L. Cool. That's 4. Whereas well make the final sub now and take Warren Emery off for Morgan and go with that. 7-point gap between me and the top of 12 games left to play for. Happy out. Do you have to face the top team yet? We play each other in a game after next week. Well, fair play. So that's probably the game that is going to decide your fate. That is probably going to be the game that decides whether or not you win or get automatic promotion. I suppose, is there slot for second and third? Like, how many people get promoted in tier 10? Them in the tier below, sadly. So you basically have to win the division in order to get promoted, right? Is that how that ends up working? Or is that a misconstruction from me? Well, the joys of that. So here's hoping that you end up winning that game. The game after next. Oh, shut up, Pando. Oh, aren't you so nice to treat the little guy? It is a cool little addition. I don't know if it's worth end up having, but it is a cool little addition. Because I do see loads of people end up having stomping things and the whole lot across the screen of their thing. I don't know whether or not it's worth it or anything like that, but it's a nice little thing to end up having. So thank you so much for giving in a little treat there, Duck, on the Twitch side of things there. But we're doing well here. Barcelona haven't made a whiff about coming back in. Chat box on Twitch on Internet PC tab. I love how Discord ping comes up above my chat box on Twitch on Internet PC tab. I've never had that happen to me, so that's an interesting little issue to end up having. This Barcelona team is actually surprisingly old. Does need to make some additions to end up to it. And ironically enough, they've made it worse for themselves. They've sold players that are older that were younger than the players that they bought in for them. I guess it's the game just being a wee bit weird. Thinking the people are better. But yeah, with all of the World Cup qualifiers are finished now, right? None of them ended up going into extra time, did they? Let me have a gawk. No. Belgium ended up beating Wales. Italy ended up beating Moldova. Croatia bet Czechs. Norway. How are Norway? Oh, God damn it. I was hoping they wouldn't end up getting a goal. I mean, it doesn't matter at the end of the day, but I was hoping to get a clean sheet out of this. That's just bad defending. But how are Norway as a team? Because obviously you have Haaland there, and Haaland, in theory, should be able to score lickety-split anytime you want. But, like, in general, how are they? It's like they have a couple of interesting players. I like Christophe Augier. I think he underplayed himself by going to Brentford. I think he could have went to a better team than that. I'm shocked he didn't go to Tottenham at the time, actually. Haaland is obviously very good. Sander Berge is meant to have been playing phenomenally well the last wee while. And to my understanding, Antonio Nusa is a fairly good player now at RB Leipzig, but I haven't paid too much attention to him. And obviously they've Odegaard as well. So I wonder, like, is a 1-0 win versus Estonia a proper showcase of their ability, or is that them underperforming? Because it's interesting to me either way. Van de Berg is Dutch. Oh, I didn't see him there. Patrick Bob, Oscar Bob. Oscar Bob is there as well, good player. Oscar Bob. Oh, Oscar Bob was subbed off and was subbed on. That's weird. Must have gotten injured or something. I don't know if he's injured or something. I didn't see Van de Berg as one of the options. But that's interesting. One of the things I'm hoping is at some point in time, our bunch of schmucks here in the Republic of Ireland actually get their arse out of gear and actually start performing. Like, I know it takes some home development in order to get the players to end up having some showcases, but I know of some players that went abroad and seem to be doing okay in their respective establishments. So hopefully they can end up growing up. I know someone turned around there and said one of the things that needs to be done, and I don't know if Benny is here, he'd be able to give us a better idea this watching West Ham, is that Evan Ferguson needs to leave the Premier League because the pressure has killed his confidence, and if he stays in the Premier League, they think he'll just wash out like Troy Parcott. I don't know how to feel about that. I think he has the potential to be a phenomenal player and has just had too much pressure put upon him in the last wee while. But it's interesting either way, I suppose. With that win, that gives us the buffer we needed against Barcelona too. A beautiful performance by us. Although we do have the big boys next as well. We go straight into Atletico Madrid, which will be an equally hard game. Ard Guller, well, I'm saying Ard Guller was the best player on the pitch is interesting when Jude ended up scoring a hat-trick. The refereeing performances are always bad. Mikel Arteta for Vinicius, if he comes in and gives a good enough deal, we'll end up seeing, but he is the best in the world at that position. So it is very, very, very unlikely that we end up selling him, to be honest. Even though he is 33, he just is the best in the world at that position at the moment. I genuinely don't think mind games have any effect at all. And that's sound. Now, with that being said, this good grace could end up being turned into a nightmare in a minute if we don't go into the next game versus Atletico Madrid right here and perform equally as good. The fact that there's only a 2-day gap in between the two biggest games of the season is a solitary joke. A complete joke. But hey, we have this done here. 18 wins in a row in the Spanish First Division, which is accurate. Our only losses and draws this season have been in the Champions League. One to my former team, Liverpool, and then a draw, ironically enough, to Barcelona earlier on in the Champions League phase as well, which would make that 4-1 win even more impressive. But now we go in, we're probably going to play the exact same team unless there is a proper showcase of people being completely taken over in terms of their tiredness. But formation is playing particularly well. We seem to be standing on strong grounds. And, you know, top of the division after beating the arch rivals into the second biggest game of the season, we should be sound. I love that. We've a fantastic streak, and they end up taking a big annoyance at the fact that we lost to Liverpool. Lewis, thank you so much for the raid. It is an absolute pleasure to have you in. Salutations, my friend. How is your Monday treating you? Is the crack of 90 with you? How was the stream? Did the FM end up going well for you, my friend? I'm guessing it was FM you ended up doing, was it? That is that crap show emote is beautiful, by the way, as well. No, it wasn't FM that you ended up doing, wasn't it? Oh, okay. I think that's a response to Duck, which is a fair response, to be honest. But how was the stream anyway? It was a good one. Lost the World Cup final to a 121st minute penalty. I'm sure you'll be cursing out that player beyond belief. I ended up losing when I was with Crystal Palace. I ended up losing my promotion game to Watford in a similar fashion, but it was the 94th minute of regular time to lose 1-0. Much to my chagrin when I was with Crystal Palace. But, you know, it happens. But hey, it means you have 4 years to go until you're able to do it again, my friend. Who was it that you were playing as anyway in the World Cup in order to have that position? And Benny, it's a pleasure to end up having you back. Always nice to see a familiar face inside of a raid. Just lost my Wonder Kid. Oh, bro, wow. The joys of that. When a person ends up getting injured on you. Nothing quite like it when that ends up happening to you. Just horrible situation for that. Ooh, okay, so a clip ended up being sent there from Lewitt. Let's have a quick gawk at it. I see. Well, sorry, Cracklurk. I've been lurking because I'm in a game of Pangya. Hey, I understand how much of an addict you are for the old golf, Benikage, so it's 100% understandable. No bother whatsoever. I understand perfectly why you would end up being in such a situation, so don't worry about it. And are you just the international manager, Lewis? Or are you doing a club save alongside that as well? My guildmate pinged me for a game of Pangya. Fair enough. And are you better than your guildmate? Is the ultimate question that needs to be asked, Benny. Why are you in air stuck? There's nothing wrong with feeding the old addict there down in the corner. He ends up enjoying it, and everyone loves seeing him dance. Because you're not going to get me to do it. Is the Fleetland save had been building for my first ever run in Europe in season 28. Well, congratulations on that one. Which European game is it that you're going into? Is it Conference? Is it Europa? Is it Champions League? Which one have you gotten into? I'm 4 strokes in the league. Happy out. In the lead. Sorry, lead, not league. And is, for yourself too, Benny, is today's stream going to be a Panya stream as well? I might end up doing friends with golf at some point in time on one of these streams. If I can get friends. But, you know, quit the national team stuff, just going to concentrate on the club. It's conference. Have Dundee United in the qualifiers. Well, I hope... I'm not going to finish that sentence. Dundee shouldn't be too big of a deal for you. Which division are you still in, Lewis? Have you managed to make your way up to the Premier League yet? Or was it a cup win that got you the Conference League? Because I'm fascinated by anyone that has the gumption on FM to go down and actually do a lower league save. My biggest problem with even attempting a lower league save isn't the actual tactical analysis you need to end up having, players not able to play in a particular position, not having the squad depth, and all of the things that end up coming with that as well. My big problem with the lower league is 100% this one goddamn tab. I can't figure out specifically that. I always think I'm in the budget, and I always tank the club. Always. It's not even funny. I always think I'm within the budget, and I always tank the club. Maybe I'll try it again in the future on stream and see if I can end up doing that. But typically, I completely tank whatever club I end up doing, much to my own wonderful chagrin. Third season in the Premier League, finished 8th, scrapped a Conference League position to finish. They're happy out. And who is the dominant force in the Premier League now when you're in it, Lewis? I don't understand why FM Finance charts are always... I mean, yeah, look at my one. Look at my one. Then, like, it's just bouncing like a bloody... Like, to be honest, to me, I joined Real Madrid here. So, like, I've actually kept Real Madrid fairly well financed. Even though, you know, profit and loss is weird. But yeah, I've actually haven't done a bad job with Real Madrid. Better than I do with most. But you chance with what you have and you see how it ends up going. But the other thing when it comes down to us is if you were looking at the likes of our B team and our C team, they're doing atrocious. But that's because we have everyone out in loan. Chelsea won the league easy last season. Is that because of money balls or a situation of it all just going well for them? Like, are they just spending crap tons of money, or is it going that way? Most people are... I mean, yeah. I wasn't going to mention it. But to be fair, I haven't spent that much this season, Benny. And to be fair, since I've joined, I've only spent 200 million on goalkeepers, 100 million on a striker, 100 million on a midfielder, and 100 million on 2 defenders. It's not like I've spent that much money. Not including first season, Lou made it to the Prem before going straight back down. Hey! It's not easy to stay up, but at least you got up. That's the way to end up doing it. And have you finally gotten to the point now, with it being... I did not spend 500 million on a goalkeeper. I bought 2 goalkeepers. I spent 100 million. Well, to be fair, the club had bought Lucas, so you're kind of right there. The club spent 500 million. I just immediately sold the goalkeeper to spend £1 million on 100 million on. So, but Lewis, now that you're up in the Premier League for your 3rd season, have you actually started getting Premier League money? Or are you still? Is the game still being mean to you and kind of forcing you to have Championship money, as it tends to do every now and again? Are you still a sell to buy club? Happy out to you. And are you winning, Benny? With your monetary package being so well divided? I think that's the only change we make. Burke out for Hines. Been okay for money. Just trying to find the right player. Season preview still has me finishing 18th. Well then, defeat all of the aspirations and continue to do fantastic, my friend. It's a pleasure to see that you're doing somewhat well with it at the moment anyways, and enjoying the crack while it's going ahead with it. No, I went 1-1-1 last night. Well, you see, that's what you get for not spending more of the money that you have available to you, Benny. I've won 17 of the last 18 league games. Congratulations, Duck. And how many red cards have you gotten in that particular instance? Are you still averaging 12 red cards a season? About it's gotten higher, has it? That would be astonishingly funny if it has. I think we might watch this match as well, considering how important it is. But we'll watch it just after this, because the advertisements are about to happen, and I just have one quick thing I need to do. So I'll be right back. Tell me your statements there, and I'll chat to you in a minute.
I'm steady swimming on the safe side. Say your life a movie, but I'd rather watch paint dry. All of my accomplishments will fade off into gray sky. I am just a ripple in the pond trying to save lives. Hang tight. A big decision
Well.
when I make it now. See my new growing, my only season bank account. Tell me that this decade of my 20s
Streaming through raw sound, like brilliant idea, and see how correct or how bad you got it. I am confused by that statement, Skull, as to what exactly you mean by it. But I suppose. Joint second most red, sadly, with 4 in 31 games. 120 odd yellow, however. Crikey. That's Pando's name. Pando's name is Addict. Oh, I'm not streaming through Raw. I have work in the morning, and I have an important meeting for it, so we'll see what ends up happening there. Yeah, so by the way, that link you ended up sending to me there, Skull, is basically confirmation that Nottingham Forest owner is a petty arsehole and wants Palace not to end up being in the Europa League because he's a petty arsehole who doesn't want to see anyone else be successful but him. That's not confirmation that Palace have been stripped out of the Europa League, just so you know for yourself. Being cut to 15. Is that good or bad for you, Benny, by the way? With you, I never know what a Panya score is good. On the 15, by the way, so I assume that means on the 15th hole. Yeah, Pando's name is actually Addict. That's what I ended up calling him. Pando is the name of the actual bot itself. I need to change the actual bot's name itself. It's just a community pet. But hey, we'll continue to have him for a bit. I might get rid of him later on. It's just a trial for now. Anyway, let's go into this and see how things end up going. Hopefully, everything is sound, and we'll see what ends up happening there. R.I.P. Lee Child actors everywhere. Okay. They have Yorian Timber, Lenny Oro. Okay. okay, Trent isn't playing here. Oh, they bought Ibrahim Kanata. Oh, God, they got an awful lot of old Liverpool players. They even have my old man, Ernest Numwe. Of course, they have the man who shall not be named. They have a strong team. They're not doing well this season for how strong their team is. Also, did you hear, too, that supposedly, again, no confirmation of this yet, as is to be the case, there's no here we go, it's just a hearsay at the moment. Supposedly, Chelsea might be going in for Mike McGannon, the goalkeeper at AC Milan. I have said consistently for the past year, Chelsea are a goalkeeper and a striker away from winning the league. For the way that Chelsea play, I don't know if Mike is the right player. But with that being said, he could be what they need. I don't think he fits the way they play, but he's a good goalkeeper and he could be enough for them. Personally, I'd still go in for Diego Costa if I was them, or even Gracia, who seems to be signing for Barcelona. But we'll see. And if it is actually true that Donnarumma is leaving PSG, I'd spend the handbasket on getting him, to be honest. Once kicked the basketball and hit her in the face. I think that might be the wrong spelling of the resign that you want, Benny, because sign is what you want to end up happening, which resign Onana to a long contract would mean that you want to take him off of a long contract. So in terms of me being grammatically accurate, Senor Benny, to state, as you said there, United to resign Onana would be to remove or take away the long contract, whereas a RE hyphen sign would be to propose a longer state contract. So please, if you're going to do grammatical statements within my chat, be grammatically correct. I figured that was coming. I legitimately figured that was coming. It's a direction
you can fuck.
There's nothing like being a grammar nut. I figured that was coming. It's the reason why it's there. I think we can all agree that that is a 100% accurate statement of a showcase of nothing more than. Ooh, we're not near as dominantly secure in this game as we were against Barcelona. This could be a war. It took me a minute to find it because nothing in the rewards is color coordinated. You can color coordinate them? How do you do that? Oh, that's something I'm going to have to look up.
Music is powerful, man. It speaks to a primal pit in our brains.
I literally just have them there. I didn't know you could color coordinate them. Because, yeah, I find it annoying as well. If I knew you could color coordinate them, I just thought it was random. I've never even noticed in other channels that the color coordinated. So yeah, I might have a look at fixing that. So, thanks for letting me know about that, Benny. Been streaming for over 6 months now. Only figure that out now. Oh, thank you so much for that one, Duck. I'd say the irony of an Irishman correcting an American on English, but then again, it's more Chinese speaking English than there are English people. I mean, to be honest, I don't really speak English. I speak gibberish, and horse manure for the most part in time. Like, to be honest, I wouldn't be technically speaking under the terms of what it means. I'm not fluent in English, and there's very few people that are fluent in English. I'm better than most because I know an awful lot of flowery big words and different abbreviations and all that type of stuff. I am fluent. It's being facetious, but I think you know what I mean. English is just one of those incredibly hard languages because like there's words for absolutely everything and people don't know what they are. Like me using the word crack is technically in the English dictionary. CRAIC it was in the dictionary. It's not anymore, but it was in the dictionary. So like there's an awful lot of people that don't know what that word means. It's like in 2023, brat was put into the English dictionary with a brand new definition for whichever bloody artist it was that came out with that song, you know? Yeah. Because there's nothing quite like a meat-long sandwich, you know? Slathering it up together, making sure that it's good, and then just going away at a meat-long sandwich. But yeah, colloquialisms and the whole lot makes English an incredibly hard language. Additionally, you know, colloquialisms and all that don't help either. And idioms. Idioms are probably the worst thing that English ends up having. I love idioms. I use them all the bloody time without even knowing that I use them too. Like as all of you know, one of my favorite idioms is when you piss me off, I end up turning around and say, "You can kiss the right side of my left arse cheek." Like that just doesn't appear in other languages. Like even Pogue Mahone doesn't mean. Like, it doesn't exactly mean what we end up stating that it means. I mean, the literal translation doesn't mean kiss my arse. But, you know, it's just funny, you know? I think it's something like kiss the throne or something like that, or kiss the bottom. But I'm not 100% sure. I never was particularly good at Irish. Funnily enough. It is a language I've always wanted to end up learning how to end up doing properly, though, at some point in time. It's just I am atrocious at languages. Like, I am at most things, actually. I wanted to learn the guitar as well, and I have the coordination of with a guitar, like... Yay! Faustin Mastantino! God, I love Faustin! That isn't his name either. It's Mastando. I just always call him Mastantino. Mastando. I just always call him Mastandino. I do the same thing with Warren Emery because it's Warren Zane Emery, but like I just randomly called him the wrong thing. Like Gail Machi is to me is just gay. So, you know. I started watching the movie Meet the Parents again. You know, because I got into a bit of a Ben Stiller crave and started watching a couple of them movies, and I still think the name Gaylord is a phenomenally bad name. Like, such a bad name, it should be done more. You know. Like, it's such a wonderfully bad name. And to anyone out there that knows any Gaylords, laugh at them too, because they deserve to be laughed at. Gaylords out there. Yeah, no, I'm an ass. What can I say? I went for the name. I decided to call myself Craic, which in some elements is known as the area between your arse and your cheeks. So, Sarene, Butty, Bap, Cobb. Yeah. God damn it! You need to do better at your passing than that. Some hun in the bun there. I've never heard a sandwich be called barn now. That's an interesting one, Duck. I've never heard it be given the colloquialism barn. Bap, butty, because, you know, butter on bread. I've never heard it called Scotty either, because for me, if I hear someone end up calling it Scotty, you're just getting me a whiskey. So that's an interesting one as well, to be fair. I mean, I don't like how baseball-y this game is becoming, by the way. They have, I honestly think at the moment Atletico have a better team than Barcelona. Enzo Fernandez there, Florian Wirtz, Samu, or Samu, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Lenny Oro. They have a phenomenally good team. Like, Samu is an interesting one to me, too. Samu, however the hell you pronounce that, or Dorian. Because, like, in real life, he's meant to be good as well. So we'll see what ends up happening there. But at the moment, we're performing grand. Having the goal is what we need. It doesn't matter if we end 1-0, just so long as we end 1-0. You know, we need to get the win. Eduardo taking the moment to pause and let the ball go out is nice as well, to be fair. Bad passing. Still bad defensive work by them as well ends up helping in that element. Two-stroke lead through the 17th now. That's tight, my friend. That's going to be a fun match for you to end up having. We never actually confirmed this one, by the way. I don't know what I meant to call you by the shortening of it, but I shall do the full one for now. Black Hero 44. Salutations, Chiegwich. What's a crack-a-lackin'? How is life treating you on this fine Monday, my friend? Is all going good? Is all going grand? Is all going sexy? What's the crack with you, my friend? It's a pleasure to have you back. It's minus 21, minus 18, minus 17, minus 4 right now. Sorry, player in last is minus 3. And is this true golf? So happy out. Happy out. And minus 21, is that good for your particular record on the Pontiac courses? Because I'm not 100% sure with you, Benny. It's a pleasure to hear. I'm doing sound. So just enjoying life at the moment. Happy to end up having conversations with wonderful people such as yourself, especially returning ones that we haven't talked to in a bit. So it's a pleasure to have you back in. Are you doing anything exciting with your 2 days off work now, Halo? See, if I call you Black, I'm going to be too tempted to call you Black. Instead of Black, I'll be too tempted to call you Black instead of Black. But yeah, anything exciting is planned now for your 2 days off work? M.O.T. Carol. Oh, Caracol, you poor individual. What a pass! Oh, he's offside. My record on this course is 24. Well, now you're doing well, so it's still possible to get to 24, I suppose. Good luck with that. Well, I hope all of them go well for you anyway, Halo. I hope the doctor's appointment is just routine and not anything serious. I have to try organizing something for myself again. About 8 months ago, I was doing a deadlift, and I put a wee bit too much pressure on my hand, and now I have a numbness going from this pinky down my arm all to about there. I have a little flask thing on me in order to fix it, but it hasn't fixed it yet, so I need to end up going back to them in order to fix things up. So at some point in time, you might see me with a sling with my hand like this, but that'll be a future Crack's problem. Come with life of a driver. Anyone here play Division 2? Got it thinking it was cross-platform, but it isn't. I don't play it. Ironically, I've never played a Tom Clancy game. And the only one that's ever really tempted me was Rainbow Six Siege. But how are you finding it now that you're playing it? Halo. It's unfortunate that it isn't cross-platform though. That's unfortunate now. Yeah, it's one of the Tom Clancy games. I think it's the latest one. With Rainbow Six Siege still being out there, with Rainbow Six Siege still being out there, it's kind of under the water. I think it's the latest one. I could be wrong on that. Let me look. No, so Division 2, then there was Recon Breakpoint, then Elite Squad, then Rainbow Six Siege Extraction, so I'm wrong about that. Extraction came out afterwards. Then Rainbow Six Module, The Divergence, Splinter Cell, and then the Division 3 is announced for next year, supposedly. Interesting. I don't even know who Tom Clancy is, so I don't get the reference to it or anything like that. I just know they're meant to be good games. About to play versus Skull. Wish me luck. I'll cross a finger and a toe for you, Blockbuster. Good luck with it. Love Division 1. Played with mates, but now I'm on PC and they are on console. A bit boring solo. That is the unfortunate thing when it comes down to shooting games. They are a bit unfortunate solo. It's the reason why. Fortnite does so well and Battle Royales do so well, because there is competitiveness in that type of way. You can do your teams set up like that, so you can do fine. I will say one of the funniest things about the Nintendo Switch 2 is watching people try to use their the Nintendo assisted voice controls. God, that's hilarious. But you know, that's probably going to end up helping people enjoy Mario Kart more. God damn it. Division 3? Benny, for that joke alone, I wouldn't consider being smug. I would consider doing that. It's called the EFL League. One, my friend, and I envy you being woken up from cryo-sleep, to be frank, so it's very interesting for you. You'd be lucky you didn't get the other one. But no, I hope it's unfortunate that it isn't cross-platform. I would look around online. That game is old enough now, Halo, that there's quite a significant chance that it might have been modded to allow it to be cross-platform. I can't confirm nor deny that. As I said, I haven't played a single Tom Clancy game, but it is a possibility that it could have been modded. So I would just recommend to have a gawk and see whether or not that'd be the case. This has been... I'm scared to look at the stats of this game at halftime, by the way. This has been a scary, scary game. Can hear your Discord ping, that is. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure how to fix that at the moment. And I don't want to go through the effort of trying to figure it out. So, I'm not in anything at the moment. There's something that I'm connected to that's letting it come true. So I have to go through my source individually, but I have too much crap in it to figure it out, Duck. But thank you so much for letting me know about it. I'll try and solve it in the future. But hey, Discord is Discord. This is up and running again. Discord is life. Discord is love. Discord is everything. It's my heart. It's my soul. Did you just do what I think you did? Duck, I will ban you from the Discord. I will ban you from the Discord. Don't start doing that crap. Now that you know that that's happened, you will annoy the crap out of me. You absolute... Oh, just, you're an arse. You're an absolute arse. The Lottie can go and royally...
Off is the direction you can fuck.
Like, legitimately, the Lottie. Oh, she's working perfectly, thankfully, now, Todges. We've got her working. We've got her working now. Everything is doing grand. Everything is doing dandy. It's all happy. It's all good. It's all a pleasure to end up happening. So that is something that we're going to end up adding in later on. It's still called the Discord live check-in because eventually I want to end up doing a custom message or something like that that changes for every check-in. But at the moment, it's basically a way, if you want to showcase how many streams you've been in here yourself, considering you can only renew it once a stream. And it gives you an idea of that for the time being. Only on Discord at the moment, I will find, or not on Discord, only on Twitch at the moment, I will find a way to put that onto Kick. That will be something that Future Crack ends up doing. Boola boola. That's that there. But yeah, it's a bit of fun anyway. All 5 of the Kick users going to love that. I mean, you joke about that, but there is actually supposedly meant to be 2 there. Like every one of these, I don't actually know. Kick doesn't give you a proper view count of whoever is there. But like, I'd be happy if people ended up viewing me on that. I'm on everything, so they can end up having the crack. Nowadays, there's no real reason not to, considering Twitch seems to be killing itself, funnily enough. So we'll see what ends up happening. Like, banning every VTuber it can find is a really nice way to keep people happy with your goddamn platform, I'll tell you that. It's astonishing that a VTuber can end up getting banned for showing too much skin. Like, I can't remember the name of it, but there's literally been a VTuber that has been banned for showing too much hip. Pleasure to end up having you, Todges. Please show it to anyone you want to. Thank you so much for coming in here. You get more money on Kick if you end up getting it working. I mean, funnily enough, the gambling section is what's bringing it on. It's pretty dead for gaming at the moment, but the just talking section and that is doing fairly well on it, and it's getting an uptick in viewers. At the moment, they think about 20% of the people that are on Twitch are on Kick as well. So it's growing. And then, obviously, you can live stream on X as well, but you have to buy X Premium in order to live stream on X, and I couldn't be arsed. Yet. Maybe in the future, but that's Future Crack's problem. I won't be doing that anytime in the near future, I'll tell you that. Not because I don't think it actually wouldn't be an okay system. I actually, funnily enough, think that the Twitch, or not Twitch, the Twitter X live stream system isn't actually that bad. Other than the fact that the chat is the goddamn worst thing in the world. If you think the Twitch community is bad for chats, Christ. But yeah. Anyway, let's look at this halftime. We're 2-0 up versus our second strongest competitor, which is a brilliant way to end up being. We've had 9 shots with 5 on target. They're 5 on 2. Ironically, close-ish XG. But this has been a far more contained match than before. So we're doing good. Boston is having this fantastic game there. Vinny at some point will probably need to be taken off, so we'll need to take into consideration that, unfortunately. But we don't actually mind too much with that being the case. So we can continue on with that being fun now. And see how all ends up going. So, we're not going to make any substitutions at halftime, but we're going to continue on now and hope that we continue to perform. And Trent Alexander's coming on now for Yorian Timber. So we sold Trent to them just before we left Liverpool. My last sale with Liverpool before I left. Again, I wonder how he's going to end up doing for Real Madrid, actually. I actually think he's going to perform fairly well for Real Madrid. But it is funny that he said he went to Real Madrid because he wants to end up winning a Ballon d'Or, and then Nuno Mendes has decided to become a goddamn megastar over these last wee bit, because Nuno Mendes looks like a phenomenal you know, wing back. What a goal! Oh, crikey. Look at this goal again. I hate that it's the people against me, but crikey. There's nothing Jason could do about that. And just an incredibly well executed shot. Incredible goal, that. I will say I like the emotes. Okay, we pause now for this, so the lens is gonna. I like the emotes on kick. Ignore that, by the way. I want that for later on. It's just I didn't have the buffer up for myself, so I'll delete that later on. It's just something that I want for myself. I mean, yeah, but you can spam them, which is the thing about it. So an awful lot of people do. Oh no, it does have a channel point system. I just don't have it set up. I have to actually sit down and set it up. I just don't have it set up. There is a channel point system actually on Kick at the moment. I just don't have it set up yet. Because I need to figure out how to connect everything up properly, and the bot I'm using for channel points, like, that's insane. Don't have any of that. I don't have any of that set up because Stream Elements doesn't really work with Kick. It's something I need to do in the near future if I can figure it out. It's starting to develop over onto Kick, but I just don't have it set up yet. I love that you're just going to continue to end up clicking them. On my save, can't wait until Qatar 2022 World Cup as the Euros went hilarious. What happened in the Euros that it went hilarious for you, my friend? Whatever. Anyway, I'll worry about that later on. I don't want to be messing at stuff while I'm live. Anyway, knocked England out of the quarterfinals on pens. Scotland made it to the semis. So, wait, did Scotland knock out England in the quarterfinals or stuff like that? I'd have to do a speed test now, Todges. Give me a second and I'll let you know. I'm using Sterling, so it's actually not that bad. But not too bad for Scotland. Who are they going to end up facing now in the final? If you don't mind, let me know. Duck, because that's a nice, interesting situation to end up having. And we'll continue to let this play while I'm getting the answer for Todges. So yeah, we're doing grand. I don't like 2-0 is the most dangerous score in all of football, and the reason is because when a goal comes back, it normally gives momentum. But we'll see what ends up happening. Azan is one of their better players, so him being down is grand. At the moment, Todges, my speed is 157 download and 20 uploads, so it's not too bad today, but to be fair, that's it being taken as I'm streaming, so that's actually not bad. I'll avoid Discord for reasons. Oh no, you can post in Discord. I'm only messing with you when it ended up coming down to that. Keep posting in Discord if you wanted to post in Discord. That noise doesn't bother me at all, and you hearing it, so long as it doesn't bother you, is sound as well. we go. So, congratulations for that. That's actually fairly good. But fiber at home is grand. How much you spent? Well, I'm not going to ask that. That's a nice speed to end up having. You could end up streaming to literally every platform in the world with that if you had a strong enough computer to do it. He's chatting on Kick. Oh. Gigabytes. Are you sure? Gigabytes is strong enough, isn't it? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. If 50 gigabytes would be bloody, you'd almost have to, that's what I was thinking, because 50 gigabytes would almost be, like, that'd be the best internet in the planet. That's what I was saying. Yeah, megabytes is crap. Yeah, I have the 5 streams up at the moment, so I have, just so you know, if you ever feel like ended up checking any of them out, I have the YouTube stream that's the exact same as this Twitch one. I have the YouTube vertical stream, which is the exact same as the Kick one, but I need to figure out a couple of issues with it. I have the Kick stream currently up, and hopefully that'll continue to improve. I have TikTok up, which I don't know. I haven't had anyone comment on TikTok yet that I didn't know. And I have Twitch up. So, you know, might as well end up going everywhere while you can. Hope to end up growing and then get clips if I can end up coming out to it as well, which is why I love that you're here, Duck, because you end up helping with that particular bit to it. Whether or not I'm striking the candle wick a wee bit too broad, I'm not 100% sure, but it's grand at the moment. Funnily enough, it's against Twitch's terms of service to show another platform's chat. So even if I wanted to, I couldn't combine the chats. Yes, I'm not big enough that I probably will end up doing that later on. Todges, thank you so much for coming into the TikTok, my friend. Share it around if you want to. I'd love to have more people end up coming in here. He's going to score again. Yep. God damn it. Oh, 2-0, the most dangerous score in all of football. I have to get better with TikTok and how to promote and do better with my clips and all that as well. But that, again, is future crack to learn about stuff and do that. Get better at editing. Foster and Belling. Oh, God. My problem with this, too, is Simons is too good. I think we need to make a couple of subs. So Eduardo has been a problem, so we'll bring Ugarte on. Bellingham has been a problem, so we'll swap him for Corina. And we'll make the two of them and hope that that's good enough for now. Because we need to get us a goal out of this. And we'll end up trying that right now. There to there. Can we get the goal? Not if they end up losing the ball as easily as that, unfortunately. Simus, my friend, thank you so much for the raid. What's a crack-a-lackin' with you, my friend? How did Pal World end up going after that? Did you end up getting everything done that you wanted to end up getting done? Thank you for the boogie woogie woogie. How is the crack anyway? It's going well now, to be honest. Nothing like a bit of FM on a Monday in order to enjoy the world and the breeze away. Having a load of people end up coming in and enjoying the crack, and we end up having a nice little bunny in the bottom corner join us for the first time. So, you know, everything is going grand and saucy. So I guess I can say it with my actual voice this time. What's a crack-a-lackin' with you, my friend? We made better guns and beat a new boss. Happy out on that one. So what type of gun did you end up making that was better? Got several new pals. I was looking for a new and we did a boss too. Happy out. It's a game that at some point in time I might end up looking into, Pal World. I just haven't gotten into it yet. But I know there's rumors that they might be working on a spin-off game or a side game with it as well. So we'll see. A pea shooter. Powerful revolver, but it sounds like a cap gun. That's a perfect opportunity to make a a collaboration with Plants vs Zombies and get the pea shooter from Plants vs Zombies to start shooting around. It's a shame that franchise is dead and buried as well. But it's a pleasure to hear that it ended up going well. And was the boss particularly hard? Is it a boss that's capturable? God damn it, Arj should have scored that. Ooh, Hines now. For those of you wondering, by the way, this is Real Madrid versus Atletico Madrid, the second biggest match of our particular season. We were 2-0 up. We've managed to capitulate and let 2 goals go in. So now we're just hoping that things will end up being better and that we'll get our goal. And it ends up putting us back up near the win now in a second. Ever seen Mr. Toots from Red Faction Gorilla? Or just Red Faction? I have never played any of the Red Faction games, Duck. So I haven't, no, funnily enough. We nearly had it on the first round, but we couldn't beat the boss before the timer ran out. Second time was much better as we were much better prepared. Yeah, happy out. Gorilla's the only one I've ended up hearing about, but I've never actually played any of them. I'm guessing you would have played it on the Xbox. Would it have been Simus, or would you have been a PC gamer for that as well? Because like the Red Faction's it was always an Xbox game, wasn't it? Yeah. Qatar, yeah. Anything with destructible elements is always fun to end up having. Like, it's not a good game. Let me preface this. But I used to love playing the Incredible Hulk. I used to love playing that game because you go around destroying absolutely everything. It's the same reason why I used to love playing X-Men Origin Wolverine, because that game is so brutal and makes you feel so much like Wolverine, it's not even funny. It's a unicorn gun that farts rainbow laser beams. That's just a weapon in Saints Row. I played the Incredible Hulk demo from the movie. I mean, yeah, it's honestly, they're meant to be coming out with a new Incredible Hulk game soon enough, or Hulk being showcased in a game anyway, because there was some destructive elements leaked about it, but there hasn't been a game to me that has been as satisfying in its destructive elements, just as you being a hulking monster to destroy stuff since that game. Like, you could destroy stuff in actually, I can't even remember some of the other games I played that you can end up doing that. I was thinking Prototype 2, but that's wrong. So, what would be, if you want to continue to comment on the whole lot, but what would be your favorite console when you were a console gamer, Simus? I've had this conversation with another member of our chat there, Benny, and we have an argument going on where he thinks the best console is the Xbox 360, wrongfully so, and I think that it's the PS2, rightfully so, you know. So what do you end up thinking yourself? I mean, to be fair, it's a very good console. Very, very good console, the N64. Some very good things on it. The ironic thing about the PS4 is the PS4 is arguably the worst console in that generation. Yeah, that's the ironic thing about that statement. They're meant to be remaking GoldenEye too. Supposedly, I know there's an actual like independent team like outside of the games doing that, but there's a rumor that they're remaking GoldenEye. But the actual Bond game that's meant to be coming out too will be interesting. The rebirth of Bond that they ended up announcing. No bother whatsoever, Simus. It was an absolute pleasure to have you in here. I'll chat you again in the near future anyway. It's an absolute pleasure to end up having you. Make sure your crack is 90 as always. Shlon Gafol, and as is always, Pog Mahone, my friend. No, Hodges, I didn't end up seeing that. I look at that after the... Oh, Enric, you should have scored that. That's atrocious. I'll look at that as soon as this match ends and see what Sports Interactive is, because I legitimately thought that the game just wasn't coming as a result of the situation that's happening with them. I just thought that the game might have been cancelled or something like that due to the fact that there's nothing for them. Oh, did they say that? Yeah, I bloody quoted it. If that's true, I quoted it. I said that I thought the studio was closing down. Sports Interactive. Developers of Football Manager. We can confirm will remain available player on that. Sports Interactive Rectiform. I don't see anything. Oh, yeah. It's just something that I think could end up happening, but it wouldn't shock me that they ended up announcing it. That's why I say it. I always check everything before I believe it. And if that's gullible, then fair enough. There's nothing wrong with that anyway. I'm happy to take the L on that, if that's gullible. Okay, we need to do something here. I think the best thing to do is this. No, so we screwed that. I think. How do we do this? How did I get cancelled because I screwed myself? Discard all my changes and then come into this again. We want to move this up here and then change it to an advanced forward. Move Gay over to there. Bring on Laffy there. Demand that everyone does well. Go full on attacking because we need to end up getting the win. So we'll do our best to tank this and go fast ball straight into it and do what we can. I do think it is a joke that Sports Interactive haven't done any announcements to the community at all. For it. No, it's not. Todges on kick was pulling the piss and basically ended up catching me in a gullible moment. That's why I'm saying I need to go and check and see whether or not that was the case, and it isn't the case. But it still could be the case, but nothing has been announced yet. I still think there's a very good chance that that company has been shadow closed and they haven't told anybody. But time will end up telling everyone when that ends up being the case, you know? But for now, we'll see what ends up happening. I mean, that could be an option, Todgers, that someone ends up buying them out, but I don't think anyone would be able to give Sega the money they'd want for it, to be honest. Sega would want multiple millions for it. I think Sega would just rather close the company and let the IP linger for a bit than actually sell the company, you know? But we'll see. Sega are notoriously cheap, so it'd be interesting to see what they end up doing. Like, they're very much a publisher now as opposed to a game developer, and they just want to end up putting things out. If it can come out, they'll support you to put it out, but they are notoriously cheap. Okay, Gay up there. Bad passing. Okay, Gale. We're not getting lucky like they ended up getting with a corner with a goal from the corner. If I had the bloody 8 million quid that it would cost to buy the company, at least, not 80, I wouldn't be spending it on it. I can tell you that. I'd be buying a house in the middle of Thailand and never waking up again. Ooh. No card given, funnily enough. Unfortunately, I think this match is going to end in a draw. I don't think there's anything we can do to change the effects of this. Or they're going to score. Unfortunately, it just looks like we don't have anything coming our way in order to end up getting by this. Unai is just having Simons is having too good of a game. We're just offensively neglectful. Like that. Like the touch is grand, but just with this defensive line, we're just a wee bit too. What was that? I think we're screwed. There's nothing I can change either, unfortunately. They should end up adding maybe 5-6 minutes of overtime on this. So there's still hope. Ooh, Gatti now down. Oh, you're offside completely. Enric. Oh! Does that count? I think he was offside. I thought. He seemed like he was too far off. He's miles off. Miles offside. Ah, damn it. If only he could hold the ball himself and end up doing something. Enric, you fool. Ah, we're not going to get a better opportunity than that, I don't think. Unless they screw up, I don't think we're getting a better opportunity than that. Six minutes of injury time. So we have enough time, although they're gone ultra attacking as well, so they don't want to draw out of this either. They want to win. So this is both teams going hell to Bethlehem to see whether or not we can end up getting the win. Gutierrez to Simons. But it's scary having the goalkeeper out in case a mistake like that happens. We're just not fast enough with the ball to get into the positions that we need at the moment. Okay, up we go here. Again. Needs to be doing better with the ball. We don't have the time for this. Morgan, you fool. Oh. You had the ball. Why did you do that? You absolute fool. Oh. Ooh, that's a dangerous free kick to give. Hey, that's not a bad result to end up having. At least you ended up getting the draw out of it. Florian Wirtz now. Liverpool's supposed new signing. Will he score it? No. Corner, though. Can we counter-attack off of this and end up getting a goal? We normally don't have that problem, but we're just not performing good here. Up there. What was that, Liebe? Like, it's just some of this passing. Hines. Lofty to Coria. They've gone ultra defensive now as well. They've swapped really, really quickly. Goal. Ooh. Well, it's ending as a draw. I mean, it's not the end of the world as a result to draw to them. But it is insanely annoying considering we were 2-0 up at one point in this game. And we gave it up. It is insanely annoying that has happened. Really? For a draw, Skull? Would you awfully be? I mean, like 7 cards. We've like just unfortunate.
What do you think? Look alright. You look great. Will you marry me?
I'm sorry to hear that you ended up losing your final game there, Duck, but hopefully it'll end up getting better for you in the near future. Can get sacked for... I know, I still think that's a joke of a sacking, to be honest, the Ange Postecoglou one. I'm not happy with them at all, so I'm shouting at them. I do not care, Vinny. It doesn't matter that we got unbeaten. We bloody lost. I mean, you're valid to have that opinion, I suppose. I don't agree. But with that being said, I'm actually going to need to finish up myself now. Weirdly enough, I like to go longer when I end up getting a raid put in, but unfortunately I have to finish up myself. Simus, it was brilliant to end up having you in. I don't actually know if that done the shout out, so let me just do this first, just in case it didn't. I was rightfully so, he deserves it. Please, any of you that haven't, give him a follow. Fantastic streamer in of himself. It's a pleasure to end up have him choosing to end up giving me the raid. It was an absolute pleasure. Mark, let me check for you before I end up finishing up. Yamal is still at Barca. Arguably the best player in the world for his age, but he's enjoying himself. I mean, they probably will end up winning the World Cup, but we'll end up seeing. It'll be a joy to end up seeing what'll end up happening with them. Yeah, but screw it. It's grand to end up giving it to him again, Todges. Anyways, that's me today. Please, if you want to, please come back again in the future. Same with yourself, Maik, or however, is it Marcos or Maik? It's a pleasure to end up having you. I'll be streaming again in the near future. So I'm just going to finish up on everything else first, and then I will send off a raid for everyone. So just